AZ Reloader here, coming at you after about 16 months since my last video. Moved into a new house and got a room set up inside the house. I'm not in the garage no more, so it's nice. I don't have to deal with the heat during the summer or the cold during the winter. But here in Arizona, it's not like it gets down to 20 degrees or whatever. But so this is my reloading room slash gun room slash the wife's scrapbooking storage stuff. Touch base on that here in a little while. But so I wanted this house to be an extension of the rest of the house. So I did the best I could on making my bench. I bought the cabinets from Home Depot. They resemble pretty close with missing minor details. The rest of the cabinets throughout the house. But on my bench here, I did a 2x6 in the front and uh, notched it for the base cabinet. My thought behind that, I'm not a carpenter by trade. I'm an electrician. But my thought was, if there's a joint right there, it'd eventually crack or start cracking, and so I figured, well, I'll try to do my best and notch it, and hopefully that's not a weak point, which I don't think it will be. I think I did a lot of anchoring and just a bunch of shit to make this as sturdy as possible. Because I didn't want to put a post in the corner there. So, and I didn't fill this in with wood putty. I did caulking, because I figured that would probably be best, since that's probably considered a weak point. If I got to press towards that corner and I'm doing anything. But I think it came out pretty good. It's 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood, which I notched the 2x6 to recess the plywood into it. I figured maybe that would make everything stronger. I don't know. I could be wrong. Again, not a carpenter. I just did the best that I could, and strength wise did what I thought would be best. But I got 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood. The top piece is oak. I did that because I figured it was stronger than your typical plywood. And then I did a T-track, and I filled everything in with wood putty. You see my handiwork there with the router. I'm not good at that. But I filled everything in with wood putty, sanded it smooth, or somewhat smooth. And then I think I only did one coat of flat white on here. And then did like 10 coats of polyurethane. And it turned it into this off-white color. This, I guess you'd call it light almond. Because I went and bought some light almond caulking to like do this joint and along the wall right there. And actually matched with the paint perfectly. So kind of matches with the walls. I think the wife did like cottage white or something like that. It's like off white. I don't know. We did this whole farmhouse effect through the whole entire house. That's what she wanted to do, and I'm not. I can kind of care less. But I like it, to be honest. I'm not like crazy about it, but so I didn't like the way this came out, and I was gonna sand it down and redo it completely, and the wife saw it and she liked it because of the imperfections or whatever I guess you could call it, where I went over it with one coat or whatever and missed some spots, and so I was like, I'll keep it that way, because this room was meant to be an extension of the rest of the house. I didn't want it to look like crap. I didn't want it to look like it was in the garage, because if this would have been in the garage, I would have just I wouldn't have even painted it. I would have just thrown poly on it like I did at the last house and called it good. And the one thing that I like is, since I've been reloading for a while now, and I switched over to T-Track at the last house towards the end when I was in there. I did this whole bench in T-Track. It goes all the way down and then comes there and ends right there before the printer. So I can set up anywhere. That was my first thought, is I wanted the endless options for mobility, or I guess to be modular. I don't know. And I took the bins from the old house, so poor guy that bought the house didn't get the bins. Maybe I left 2 there. I don't remember. But so at the last house, I built the bench and then decided, oh, hey, I'm going to use these bins because they're for like toys or something like that. And so since I was building the bench and I had these bins, I was like, well, I can make the provisions for the bins while I'm building the bench. So what I did is I got, this is a 2x4 that I notched out with a table saw to make the rails to hold the bin. And so that came out pretty nice. There's some film of the underside of the bench, if any of you care to see it. So I think it came out pretty good. Again, I'm not like a professional carpenter, but I tried my best. I got my pegboard there with some of my stuff, my hand primers, and TV. Sometimes I just sit in here and watch TV, or I'll actually cast YouTube videos to the TV. And I got a shelf there with my D-backs, bobbleheads, and my Donald figures. And since I've moved out of the old house, I bought a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle, a 9mm handgun, and 2 Lee Loadmasters, and a mech size master. And so I got one Lee Loadmaster set up for 223, one set up for 40, and then this one right now isn't set up for anything other than decapping right now. It makes decapping 223 a lot faster. I know Lee just came out with a press that is kind of geared for decapping and sizing projectiles, lead cast projectiles. But eventually that one will be set up for 9. And then, I got my mech there. I haven't started doing anything with shot shell yet. This came with everything for $85. It came with the bottles, came with the crimp starters. Or no, actually I had to buy the crimp starters myself. Crimp starter, whatever. So I bought a 6-point and an 8-point for 12 gauge. So, eventually I'll be doing that. That was the reason why I bought that. I bought it like $85 on OfferUp, and then I bought one of these 2 Loadmasters on OfferUp for cheap, and one was off of a Facebook page that somebody was getting out of reloading or something, I don't know. So I bought one from him, and of course, bought some of the components that I needed to make it for 40 Smith & Wesson like I needed. Then we got this guy. So this guy right here, I got an idea, or I saw a picture of, I was looking for something for die storage. So I found a picture on the internet that basically just was kind of like this for dies. So I was like, I could make that, or give it a shot at least. And I was like, well, what if I do something with storage for projectiles, primers, powders, whatever. Because I didn't want to do shelves really just above my bench. I got that one shelf, that was it. I didn't want to have shelves. So I built this guy. It's basically a box in a box. So what I did was I built an outer box with 3/4 inch particle board, and then an inner box with all the shelves and stuff, and married the two together. And this thing took a lot more time than I thought it was going to take. I thought from start to finish, probably about 3 days. I think it took me like a week and a half. And I was incredibly frustrated with it towards the end. I was actually going to throw it away. Because, stuff like this, this is too tedious for me. Cutting down 3/4 inch plywood and into 1 inch strips to hold these. It got too tedious for me. And I was just done with it. And my wife talked me off the ledge, so to speak. So, I wanted the shelves to be as sturdy as possible. So, we got two pieces of 3/4 inch particle board right here. And then this shelf, I don't know if you can see right there, is held by one of the pieces. And I did every shelf like that because I wanted it to be sturdy. I didn't want it to like fall apart or anything. The thing was heavier than I really anticipated too. I damn near couldn't pick I couldn't really pick the thing up by myself. I'm not like a fit guy by any means, but I would say that thing probably weighs about 100 pounds. It's heavy. So I had my oldest help me bring it in here and set it on the bench, and then I screwed it to the wall so that I don't have to worry about it falling over or anything like that. But it's, it came out good. I'm glad my wife talked me into sticking with it. And, I got my vise right there. I've used that actually quite a bit on this T-Track system. I think total it took me about 2 months to do this whole room. I took all the carpet out and did the peel and stick, like 12 by 12, whatever the hell you call it, but peel and stick. And then I got my dry erase board there, and I got 2 shelves up there. The shelves are for my brass, to hold all my brass. But, as I fill it up, then that stuff on the top shelf there will end up finding its way into there. So the story with the closet here, I put these shelves in there, and the idea was for ammo storage and miscellaneous. Well, the wife didn't have anywhere to put her scrapbooking stuff, so she asked me if she could use some of the shelves, and I told her, yeah, that's fine. Eventually, I'm gonna squeeze you out. So, I built them kind of heavy duty. Tried to, anyways. I got 2x4. I don't know if you could see that running on the bottom there, and I built them to handle a bunch of weight. Because since my original intention was to put ammo on there, I didn't want them to sag after time or fall apart. And then we got our, big boy right there from the last house, or gun cabinet. Since I got rid of my small gun safe, I bought this Winchester 26 gun safe from Tractor Supply for like $500. So this guy holds some of my rifles, a few of them, but it mainly holds my ammo. Now, don't get your panties in a bunch. Don't start freaking out. Why are you storing ammo in a metal box or gunpowder, whatever? It's got plenty of holes. I'll show you some. It's got 3 of these on top. It's got some on the back, some on the sides. Plus my crappy welding job that I did. Hey, stop laughing now. But my good old welding job. I definitely am not a welder. But that's how crappy my welds came out when I made the thing. So it's got shelves in it. Because when I made all these extra shelves. So I got my ammo in there, and you know, my couple of long guns, and my bow and chronograph and spotting scope and stuff. Oh, I did buy. It's decent, but I bought. Gosh, I forget what the name of the company is, but that's a long range shooting camera, made by Bullseye, I guess. Um, I think it's supposed to be good for up to a mile because I've got the extender right there. I actually won that on eBay. Um, it was new. The guy never used it. He bought it, had it for about 2 years, and then decided to get rid of it. Supposedly never used it. It looked like it hadn't been used because a lot of the stuff was still in the packaging. But it's supposed to be good for up to like a mile or something like that. And I've used it for my 6.5 Creedmoor load development at like 400 yards, and it does decent. It takes a while to set up. That's the pain in the ass thing, is getting it set up on the target, and then it does a pretty good job at picking up the where the bullets hit on the target, but it takes a while to set up. It is a pain in the ass. I bought that because I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on a spotting scope, because the only time I use a spotting scope is when I go shooting. I don't, any of the hunts that I go on, I don't go on hunts where I'm going to be sitting there looking at targets that are, 600, 700 yards away. So, I only use that spotting scope. It's a cheapie. It's actually my old man's Winchester spotting scope. And it's, I don't want to bag on Winchester, but that's a piece of shit. If you come across this spotting scope, here, I'll open it up for y'all. Don't waste your time. I don't know what model it is, but let's see. Oh, WT 541. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time on it. It's you're better off just using the scope on your rifle to figure out where you're hitting or whatever, because that thing, when you go to full magnification on it, the hole that you gotta look through is so freaking small. It's just ridiculous. So I might be buying a not top of the line spotting scope soon, but a hell of a lot better one than that. So, and this is my 6.5 Creedmoor right here. It's a TC Compass. It's chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. It didn't come with the Vortex sight or the scope. It's a Vortex. I've never owned a Vortex optic until I bought this one, and now I've got 2 other rifles with Vortex optics, because the talk is true. It's not like $1,000 scope, but it's pretty good glass. And then the TC Compass comes with a threaded barrel, so I bought this Mech Force muzzle brake. I think they call it like baby 50 cal or something like that. So I bought that, and I'm doing load development for that guy right now, following Johnny's reloading bench, because that's why I ended up over here. I don't know if I went through this, but my components, I got 223, 40, 762 by 54, 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm using these 4 different projectiles for load development. Kind of overkill, but figured what the heck. And then that's, for the old man's 300 blackout, and then my 30-06. So somewhere in here, I'll put my stuff for my 9mm. I'll probably have to expand that bad boy there, or think of something in the future as I add more different calibers that I reload. And then, so here's the inside of the gun safe, the Winchester gun safe that I got for $500 at Tractor Supply. Apparently, they sell like hotcakes, because they had 10 in stock when I bought this online, and the next day when I went to go pick it up, all 10 were sold. They told me that they sell out. Like as soon as they get them in, they sell out. But it's a pretty nice safe. It doesn't come with LED lighting. I added that myself. I got a little micro switch here that turns it off when the door hits it. But it's a pretty nice safe. You know, the wife wanted something that was fireproof, fire rated. So to store some documents. And then here's my 9 that I bought, Zagana PX9. She's not loaded. I already checked it before I did the video, did my safety check. This thing was 250 bucks. It's made by a company in Turkey. It's a pretty nice gun. Here, we'll set it over here so you get a better look on it. But I don't know if I can even pick any of that up, but it's a very nice shooting gun for 250 bucks. I'm a sucker for cheap guns. I don't know. I just some guns I see and I like, but I guess the story with this is this was made, or the Philippine military bought a bunch of these, or did a contract to buy a bunch, and then they decided last minute that they weren't gonna pay for them or something like that. So the company out of Turkey decided that they were gonna sell them, you know, to importers and stuff. So a gun shop that I follow on Facebook had like 200 of these, and they advertised it on Facebook, and so I went down and bought one. Actually, I bought 2, but it's got the Philippine military insignia there. At least that's what I'm led to believe. You know, even if that's false, you know, it's still, you know, still shoots, still going to be deadly. But I thought that was pretty cool. So I went ahead and bought it. It's got the indicator right there that it's ready to be fired. And then, you know, you fire it and it goes away. So, you know, I think that's about it. Oh, no. Close the door here, and I got my fishing bags and my hunting pack, and then right behind the door on the wall I got my fishing rod holder there. Got fire extinguisher. Figured, you know, probably a good idea to keep a fire extinguisher in this room. And, you know, got some stuff hung up, you know, some stuff that I got for Christmas and whatnot. We moved into this house back in October of 2019, sold our other house in June of 2019. And so we've been in this house, what, 8 months now, 10 months? Because June 2020 right now, towards the end of June. But, you know, it took me, I didn't get to start on this room until like January, and I finished it right around the end of March, I believe. And, you know, if you ask my wife, she'd tell you that, that I wasn't exactly too thrilling to live with until this room was done, because I was chomping at the bit to get reloading and tinkering, and, you know, that's what I love to do. So, you know, that's my room in a nutshell. Till next time, I'll be doing some more videos, I'm sure sometime soon down the road, for Shot Shell and maybe 6.5 Creedmoor videos. I have a problem of doing a lot of things and then remembering after I got done with it that could have done a video. I don't know. I'm not trying to like make any money off this YouTube thing. I try to do videos on things that I have to figure out, and I can't really find any videos on YouTube. So, you know, I'm just trying to help people out. So till next time, happy shooting and happy reloading.